do that.
No pressure. Right, are we good?
We're good. Hey, we're back.
Oh my God! We're so excited today, guys. We have got a guy who we met through the brilliant Steve from 92.6 on a gig, the charity gig that we put on last year. He opened up the show with such beautiful energy and character, and we're so glad to have him on the show. It's Darren from Black Carrot. Darren, welcome to the Shout Out
Hello.
Podcast. How you doing, mate?
Thanks for having me.
We are so glad
Yeah,
you're
thank you
here.
for coming on.
Podcasts, eh?
Yeah, it's a new thing, man. Music. You don't
Weird.
make any money from music these days, but
No,
you've got to branch out.
I don't make any money from anything. So
No.
no, I just hide in a bubble and hope no one comes to me for any money or payment. I can't give it to them.
Well, you didn't actually get paid on the last gig that we played with you because it was a charity gig, but we appreciate you being there.
I live in the boot of Steve Simpson's Tesla. He just doesn't know it. I get up really early and get out, and then I come back really late.
He doesn't even know.
No, he doesn't know.
There's a lot
He has
of
no
space
idea.
back there.
Luckily, he doesn't
Bit of
use his
kettle.
boot. So, but there you go.
Great.
I've just had to quickly make myself another sign because
All right.
the other sign I made myself was falling behind my desk and I can't reach it. And it just simply says, I don't know if you can see it here.
It's
no, you
blurred.
can't because of my thing. It's a piece of paper and it says, "Do not swear." So
Oh, okay. That's brilliant. I mean,
I just put that in front of me. Not that I do swear a lot, but every now and again there might be one come out, and it's not big. It's not clever.
it's fine. I mean, it just means Dan has some extra work to do. And
I could do some bleeping or whatever. Yeah. Keep it.
Yeah.
Good man. He's
I
a
went
drummer, he
on
doesn't
Mix
much
92 last week, and I was terrified I was going to slip out a little F or a, you know, there's going to be a bomb that gets dropped in a minute, and I'm not going to know about it. You know what? It's
Well,
like it gets in your head. Like
Yeah,
I probably
I
don't
know.
necessarily swear that much, but as soon as I'm thinking don't swear,
Yeah.
you just get Tourette's.
Oh yeah, first few episodes we did, I was non-stop
Yeah.
thinking about it, and I did let a few out in the first few episodes, stuff that didn't really go up. But now, like doing it, you get used to not swearing. Especially, I know you were on Mix as well earlier. When you have to do the radio things, you're like you
Yeah.
can. I literally let one
You
out.
just got one out then.
And Steve's like a proper grown-up adult.
I
So
know.
that's even more intimidating because it's
Very
like
easy.
you're in the room with your dad and you're like,
Yeah.
if I swear, I'm going to get told off. So
He's like the really cool teacher, and you're like, you would kind of want to impress him a bit, but he's also
exactly.
like, yeah,
You're like, you're doing this for me, and I
Yeah.
want to make it so you don't regret it.
yeah, yeah.
Because there's a lot of regret that I have to kind of just accept in my life, and I don't want Steve.
I
I
couldn't
don't want to
handle
be
that.
one of Steve's regrets.
I would not
So,
want to be
I
on
couldn't
Steve's
hack
bad
that.
side.
I can hack being. I can be a disappointment to my parents, but I don't think I could be a disappointment to Steve.
no, not to Steve. It's that'd be unbearable.
Yeah.
And-
Steve,
and
Drive
that's
home
horrendous.
feeling sick. You'd have to get out of the car. You know, it'd be awful. But
Move
he's a
into the
nice
garage.
guy, and you know, he does so much for the community, and
Really
it's
does.
kind of where we're at with Black
Yeah.
Carrot. We kind of want to help build a community. So
He's
No,
nice.
man,
inspired a few
we've been
people,
following
isn't
what you've been doing. It's really cool, man, to see what you've been doing. You know, you had 5 singles out last year.
yeah,
That's a wild pace. What's that like? I mean, you know, I mean, from what I can see on your Spotify, you haven't. You've just started releasing music last year, and now you've got a decent sized collection already.
yeah. It's light is just blinding me. Yeah, so we had the 5. The plan was to do one a month
Mm.
for 12
Wow, how
for
intense.
12 months,
Wow.
Yeah.
and then bundle them together, but remixed and remastered as the album.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we just burnt out after 5. It was
I mean,
I just couldn't keep up with it. It was
Yeah.
well, what happened was the music was all recorded and the guide vocals were recorded, and then it was a case of going in and doing the next lot of vocals for the next 2 singles, and I lost my voice
Oh, really?
for a few weeks. It just went, and then once it's a bit like when you go to the gym all the time and then you don't go for a few weeks around Christmas, and it's really hard to get back into it. And having a few weeks off of our schedule in the studio, it then just became really hard to just bounce back into it.
Yeah.
And so then we said, well, look, we've missed now the 2 windows. We've done 5 months in a row. We haven't done 6 and 7. And it kind of then just took the pressure off. We went, well, we've missed that. So we don't now need to do that. But the thing is, we never told anyone that was our actual plan. We never it's not like at the start we went, we're going to put a single out. It was just what we decided between us. We were going to do this. So we thought we're not letting anyone down because we didn't promise something we haven't delivered. The only people we said it to was us. So we're only letting ourselves down. And we're okay with that because not rushing it and just going back to it when all of us are completely ready, it'll be a better recording. And actually, what would have been the next single, I've slightly tweaked the lyrics to it since, and I prefer it.
Yeah, that's great.
So everything happens for a reason, and I think the reason with that was it's going to be a better song.
Yeah, tell me more about you said I've only ever met you from Black Carrot. Who else are you making the music with? Who have you got around you?
So the band is me on guitar and vocals.
Yeah.
And songwriting.
Yeah.
And then we've got Mark Tugg, who is on bass and backing vocals.
Mark Tugg is a great rock and roll name. Is that his real name or is that like an alias?
No, that's his name.
Mark Tugg. That's like a proper filthy bass player name. That's brilliant.
He's a filthy. There's a lovely dirty tone as well. So, but he's Mark owns the studio that we record all the songs in.
Oh, that's perfect.
So he's pivotal to the band. He owns Garden City Studios in Letchworth. So that's his job.
Oh, great.
And we do all the songs from there. So This is what's great about this band now.
Yeah.
The other member is Chris Reeder, who's on drums. Is that we've got 3 people up to this point who everyone brings something to the table. And I've been in bands before where you like the only person doing anything. And even every week at rehearsal, it's like you've done a load from one rehearsal to the next rehearsal, but no one else really did anything once they left that rehearsal. The next rehearsal, they're just rocking up, maybe taking their instrument, whatever their instrument is, out the case for the first time since the last rehearsal. They haven't phoned anyone to try and get a gig. They haven't. There's nothing, But with this band, Mark's got the studio. So Mark gets us all in to do our parts, and then he mixes and masters and produces the singles. Chris is on festivals and London.
Cool.
And I'm on the 4 counties, so Herts, Beds, Bucks and Cames. Plus, I'm obviously doing all the socials, all the design of the singles, the albums, posters. We have a magazine, so I do all of that. And it's like everyone's always got something that they're doing.
Yeah.
I said up to this point a little while ago because last week we had a 4th member join the band.
Is that an exclusive? Is that the first time it's been announced?
Do you know what? He's so new, I can't remember his surname. I'll have to look at it. It's it is. It is. I suppose it is. You get the exclusive on now.
There we go.
This is the 4th member of the band. Oh my God, what is his name? So his name's Wayne. I knew that one. That one I'd remembered. Johnson. Wayne Johnson.
Wayne Johnson. Another good rock and roll name. Strong.
A strong name, yeah.
What does he bring to the table?
Don't know yet. I'll find out.
Does he play an instrument at all? Does he have a tambourine in his car or something?
Bag carrier?
Well, I think maracas, maybe.
I can totally hear maracas. I was listening to your music earlier. I said to Dan, if this tune just had maracas on it, it would be finished.
Yeah.
Like Bez in the Happy Mondays. That's what every punk band needs, is maracas.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
But no, he's a guitarist.
Cool.
So he'll come on and take some of the load off me, because being a front man, there's times when I could do with not having to play something. And at the minute I'm having to play all the time. So I deliberately put parts of each song. Because when I write a song, I try and think about how it's going to be live.
Yeah, you can hear that. You can really hear that in your music.
Yeah.
Really nicely.
That's the only reason I'm in a band. It's because I want to play gigs. Yeah. Having songs out there on Spotify, streaming CDs that people buy and put in their collection, that's all well and good, and it's lovely because you kind of have this document, and it's almost like your legacy that you're creating. because
Yeah,
that will carry on and carry on
Yeah.
once it's out there. But really, for me, that's like the documents that people listen to learn the songs. So when they come to the gigs, they can sing along and the gigs will be even better. I myself don't sit and listen to the songs every day. So really, I'm recording something that I never really use. You know, does that make sense? It's like,
It does, yeah. You're
I'm not
doing
the
it
one
for...
playing the songs.
Yeah.
I don't get in my car and think, oh, let's put Black Carrot on. I never think that because, and probably the reason for that is because you know what it's like when you're recording a song, you put that song under a microscope and you're playing it and playing it and playing it. The amount of run throughs on guitar, bass, the vocals, hearing it. Mark will do a pre-process with it and send it to me, and then you're listening to that again and again and again, jotting down any little bits and pieces, and going back to him with your notes, and he kind of goes in and alters it and sends you another one. You listen to that song so many times under a microscope that once it's finished and it's done and I've signed it off, I kind of don't want to hear it again for a while.
No, I know. We know that how you feel with that. Like once you record a song, you get so excited for it, and then it's out, and you're like, "Man, I've heard it way too much."
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud as hell of all of my songs, you know, and my 5 little babies, my 5 little kids that are out there on streaming. I love all of them, but I don't necessarily need to.
You've heard them 1,000 times.
There's, you know, something like one of our songs, Heavy Metal Through the Ghetto Blaster. I love hearing that when I'm playing it on stage.
Yeah.
I don't ever feel the need to put it on Spotify because I feel that's not for me. I kind of feel that once you've recorded the song and you signed it off and then you've released it, it's almost like that's it now. You're done with that.
Yeah.
That's not yours anymore. That's the stratosphere. It's the people that are listening. It's their song now. And it's funny when
might have some...
Sorry, say that again.
I think, do you think it might have something to do with how, like, when it's recorded, it's the same every single time, but when it's live, you can kind of express how you are in that moment, and it can be a little bit different every time. I think that plays into it.
I think so. And what is really funny is when you get, I've had a few people come to me, especially the festivals last year when I was doing, I did all the festivals solo last year because we didn't quite have the band ready to go at that point. And there's a couple of songs, Heavy Metal was one, and another one of our songs, When You Fall. And I had people come up and say, oh, I really like these songs, and I totally get like what you're saying when you say, and then they go off into a little diatribe, and it's actually not what the song was about. No, but I think it's what it's about for them. And now that I've put it out there, it's not really mine anymore. It's there. And if that listener has gone, oh, this song's about this, and that's what it's about for that person, and I don't want to say to them, no. I'd rather go, well, for me, it's about this, but for you, it was about that. And that's something that I didn't know about until last year, to suddenly go, oh, hang on. There's no like set meaning of these songs now. There's actually multiple meanings of these songs because a couple of people that said to me about When You Fall, what they thought it was about, I thought, well, it's not what I wrote the song about, but how you've explained to me what it means to you, I can't really disagree either, because I kind of think, that I guess it is about that as well, but not really. So it's weird because when that happens, you kind of like your songs on another level.
Yeah.
Like I already loved that song, but then when I started to think about it on a couple of different meanings and levels, it was like, oh, wow, I really like that song even more now. And that's why now that song is the first song we do all of our sets with, because it was like, just became important in a different way. When it used to be about 3 or 4, now it's like, bam, it's the first one. And it gets the energy going, and it opens my voice up quite nice live. So then it means the rest of the set's not quite as tough. But when we did it 3 songs down, it was like, this one, woo. I'm already a bit tired, but it's good to just get it out the way as well. So that's another thing. Playing acoustically, you don't do your songs at the full whack. You're doing them acoustic, aren't you? And then when we started playing as a band, because all of our songs are recorded fully as a band, but then to go out there and actually start doing the band gigs, you start going, wowzers, this one's a bit harder to sing than I remember. Because obviously in the studio, you can just you can kind of get help a little bit sometimes, and but live you don't. If you haven't got the lungs, then you ain't delivering it.
Got to have the lungs. You've got to bring the energy as well. You're not just singing to a microphone. You've got to be there on stage and have presence, and then that's a whole other thing to think about, and a lot going on.
Exactly. That's why it's nice that Wayne's come in to take some of the moments of guitar off me. So I can go, you play that bit. I'm just going to sing.
I can just sing,
and then I'll come and we can have a bit more. But I write songs that I want the verses to have, their space, and then when you get to the chorus, it goes up a notch.
Yeah.
And I think when you've got two guitars, you can really do that. Suddenly that chorus can open up, and for me, the most important part of a song is the chorus. It always has been. I grew up listening to bands that have big choruses, and I think like most people, I started with pop.
Yeah.
And that's just choruses. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And catchy verses, but choruses. And then I got into rock, and the rock bands that I liked, they not only did big catchy choruses, but their verses were so catchy. They were almost like choruses as well. Yeah. And so, for me, it's just like the chorus is a really important thing. Nail that, and then sort of work backwards a little bit on the verses to say,
I love that.
Could we just make them a little bit more catchy themselves, So, because otherwise you're only, you'll listen to the first verse and you get to the chorus and go, I really like that. And then the second verse starts and you're not really listening to it. You're just waiting for the next chorus to come along.
But
if you put the hooks in the verses as well, and that took me years to master that.
Yeah. Because you were in bands before
I haven't even
Black
mastered
Carrot
it,
as well,
but,
right?
Sorry?
You were in bands before Black Carrot as well, right? I saw it on Spotify. So that was going to kind of be one of the questions, like how long have you been writing music for?
I've been writing music since I was about 8.
Okay.
I used to do gigs in my living room to my family.
No way.
Just like a cappella. But they used to be football chants.
Do you have a team?
Sorry?
Do you have a football team?
I support Tottenham Hotspur.
Okay, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. Do you guys support Watford?
A big Watford fan,
yeah.
Yeah, I watched at the weekend. Watford take Luton apart.
That's why I've got half of my voice left.
Yeah, well, I was shouting along with you because I'm a lifelong Tottenham Hotspur fan, but I live in Stevenage, and so we support the local team. Season ticket holder at Stevenage. And therefore, I hate Luton.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And
not that you needed a reason, but...
Yeah.
No. And I quite like Elton John. So, supporting Watford is okay with me because I like Elton John. I like Anthony Joshua.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, who doesn't?
You like No Rest for the Spacemen?
Of course.
I like No Rest for the Spacemen. Don't mind Watford, actually. Yeah. It's quite a nice place. Yeah. Although I find it weird that it's got a shopping centre essentially on a roundabout. And I think that's...
Yeah, the shopping centre is...
It's in the roundabout. I hate Watford so much. I hate driving in Watford.
Such a good music scene as well. I think there's a place you've got a gig at coming up. Is it Jimmy's in Watford? But there used to be so many more venues in Watford as well.
Johnny's,
that's it. Johnny's Bar.
Up and coming, that one.
I know. Well, last year, when we started to talk about merch, and me and Chris is driving the merch as well. He's like, need merch, man. Need merch. I want 7 T-shirts so I can wear one every day. And all this He cannot wait for the merch. And I love that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because I can be a bit slow on things like that. I'll get the design done. That's fine. But then I can kind of be slow on actually getting the merch ordered. So he's like grilling on me all the time. And we've got a few gigs coming up, which will give us the money to buy the first run of shirts. But last year we were going, right, shirts is a given. Hoodies, sweatshirts, caps, you go for all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then he said, what else could we do that maybe is a bit different to what other bands do? And I said, well, it wouldn't be different from all bands because I know a couple of bands have done this themselves, but I think they're all American and no English band has done it. But I don't know how much it would cost to do it. And he said, what is it? And I said, condoms. I said, Black Carrot condoms. And I mean, I won't go into the details of how I wanted it to work with the word, but it turned out that you could do it, but all the branding was the packet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you could have a condom in a black packet with the orange logo on it.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then I priced it up and I was like, it's quite a lot of money for a bit of a joke, really, you know?
Yeah.
And, but I mean, we could have a good message there, like, you know,
Yeah.
rock and roll to the excess, but, you know, cover
You're
up as
keeping
well.
your fans safe at the same
Wrap
time.
your carrot.
Wrap your carrot.
Exactly.
You don't
See,
wanna...
I should have come to you guys for a slogan. That would have been.
Yeah, you should go get it. You can have that one for free. You can go get your condoms now.
But I never thought no more of it after we'd sort of, no, we won't do that. And then a little while later, at the start of this year, Chris phones me up and goes, oh, I've got us a gig. And I went, oh, yeah, where's that? And he went, Johnny's. And I went, oh, we need those condoms.
Oh, that would have been great.
we really
That'll be
need
good.
them.
Johnny, Johnny.
So, yeah, you never know. By April the 4th, I think that gig is, there might be. Because there's one company that will send you samples.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, but they've got like 20 different colors. And I thought, well, if we ask for a sample, but of every color,
Yeah, that's perfect.
then we'll have 20 to just sell.
How much do you think you could realistically sell a branded black carrot condom for, though, at a gig? What are you thinking?
Like,
Is it-
pound?
I don't think I would pay more. I love your band, and I'd pay a premium for the black carrot logo. I don't think I'd pay more than a pound, maybe two, for a condom at a gig.
I mean, if we want to have a good moral compass, we should just give them away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what a lot of people do.
You know, as soon as you see a couple in the corner, like having a bit of a kiss.
Come on. That's
Rather
great.
than guitar picks, you're just throwing out Johnny's the whole gig.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do that. Or,
Yeah.
I don't know, it could be the rock band that might chat you up, but they'll show you that it's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
Safe sex rock band.
Safe sex rock band.
Safe sex rock
It's not a bad thing to promote
No?
because, that's it. The other band in America that did this that I know of was Motley Crue.
Oh, were they? I didn't know they did it.
I thought there's no, it doesn't. It's not appropriate with Motley Crue because they didn't care about any of that. They just went for it.
Yeah.
We've all seen The Dirt on Netflix. There was no
Yeah.
thought of covering up. So anyway, we thought about that. And the other thing, it'll come to me. There was another bit of merchandising that I really, really, really wanted. Yeah. And I can't think what it was. It'll come to me. But we had like a real no, it'd be too expensive. It'd be too expensive. But what we've got now.
What have you got now?
Is you won't be able to see this because it's not working, is it? If I try and show you something. Can you see?
Is it a peg?
It's a clothes peg.
Yeah.
It's a clothes peg. I've got bags and bags of them. I don't know in Asda what they thought I was doing buying so many pegs, but this is Mark's idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to be armed with pegs now, wooden pegs. Got I haven't got one that's no. But we've got a Sharpie, and then we write on the peg our website.
Oh, great!
So they've all got the website on front and back. And then I said to Mike, well, what do you do then? And he said, well, when we're at a gig, you just go up to people behind and just clip it to the bottom of their shirt.
Smart.
So then when they get home later on or something like that, you think, what's this? And look at it. It's a peg with our website on it.
With the website, you got to plug the socials. That is so clever.
I liked it. I ran straight out and just
That's a strong idea.
You've got to be like smart with marketing. That's a good idea because everyone's done the typical like 4 ways of promoting their band. So things like the pegs is a good idea, and the condoms.
Yeah,
great.
Well, don't put a peg on the condom. I mean,
could sell 2 in 1 if I don't know.
Yeah,
you need both for some reason.
Yeah, I know. That'd be odd, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, this does. No, we won't go there. But yeah, that's Mark's idea. So again, people bringing stuff to the band all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm now waiting to see what Wayne. I've already forgotten his surname again. What Wayne's gonna bring to the band. We only met him for the first time last week. Chris, he works with Chris, and he was in a band previously with Chris called Blame Wayne. You might have heard of Blame Wayne.
Blame Wayne. I have heard of Blame.
Recognize it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Wayne is from Blame Wayne.
Yeah.
And I mean, Chris played with him for a little while, and then they've ended up working together. So when we was looking for another guitarist, Chris just thought, I'll ask the guy at work that I was in a band with before. This guy is also in, and obviously you know her as well, Amber Rose Lilly.
Oh yeah.
He's in AJ and the Heads.
Oh shit.
With Amber.
Oh, that's so cool.
Small world.
Small world.
Well, Chris, I think, was the guitarist in that band.
Yeah.
And then when we started gigging as a full band, and Chris came on drums. So Chris, I've known for years. My old band Contravenes. He was in for a very, very short stint, right at the very end, when it was dying. But I just was trying to hold on to it. Like, no. But the pole was like, it's like trying to hold on to a lap dancing pole. I was just, it wasn't going to work. And so he came in right at the very end, and then we didn't do anything really, other than like a couple of rehearsals. But that was years and years and years ago. Like,
tell me about that. Was that like the first band that you like kind of started gigging with?
Contravenes was the first band I actually started doing gigs with and recording. We put a band together. Me and the drummer in that band, a guy called Wade. We put that band together, and it was originally called Semtex 69.
Got a good band name, Brain. Like
you got a really
Desperado,
good band name,
Black Carrot. Well, that's
good. Well, yeah. I mean, Semtex 69. Looking back on it, it was supposed to. It was about a friend of ours who, let's say, he wasn't very successful with the ladies.
Yeah. Right.
Awful.
Yeah.
And so, Semtex 69, it was supposed to be a reference to how bad his sex life always bombed.
That's quite clever, actually, yeah.
So...
Was he in the band?
Yes.
Fair enough.
But me and Wade agreed to not tell him why it was called that.
That's so cruel. I love that.
So, but because it was like the bombs with the dynamite that... It was one of them with a dynamite and the lightning, but he never ever realised that the top of the bomb was the top of a condom. Condoms are coming quite a lot in this. I do
appreciate a condom heavy episode.
Yeah.
It's a condom heavy episode, but he never ever realised that. But anyway, he left the band mainly because he couldn't, bless him, ever remember how to play any song the same. So we kind of remember the song, but you'd never get him play it the same 2 times in a row.
Right.
And it was kind of important that you can do that. So anyway, he left. And then we got some other people in, and we changed the name, and we came up with Contravenes because we wanted that band, although it was a pop punk band, I wanted to throw other influences into it as well. Yeah. So we were kind of, it's not reinventing anything. But when you're that young, like we were like 19, 20, you think what you're doing is revolutionary, but it's not. Yep. So we called ourselves Contravenes because we thought we were contravening the laws of music, man. And we weren't. We just weren't. My favourite band were a band called the Wild Hearts, and we were just basically ripping them off. So not only was it not reinventing any wheel, I was just blatantly copying my favourite band, but really badly. So I still love that band, and there was some great songs that we wrote, and I've actually brought 2 of them over to Black Carrot now.
Oh, that's great.
I just missed playing them, and Chris liked one of them in particular from the short stint he was in, so I pulled it back over, and there's 2 more that we're now in discussions about pulling back as well. But Contravenes, that was just... What a rubbish name for a band, really. That's where my good name of band kind of stopped. Yeah, it was the most important band to me because it was my first one.
Yeah, you must have learned a lot from that experience, even though you were just ripping off your favourite band.
We're about our songs are pop punk and pop punk. They are in their delivery, their intentions. Us as people are about as punk rock as Noel Edmonds' Jumpers. You know, we don't do drugs.
Yeah.
We don't get in fights. You know, we always have trainers with us just in case we have to run from a fight, you know. We try not to swear.
Yeah.
You know? Other than an overly healthy obsession with condoms, we don't really
You practice
do anything.
Practice safe sex, that's on the list.
Yeah. And we don't put it about. So we're so not punk, you know. It's like we just turn up and do our punk songs. But, you know, I've always said that punk was never a sound. It was always an attitude. And that attitude being that you do what's true to you.
Yeah.
And with this band, I started it actually. You mentioned Broken Desperado. That was a solo thing that I did.
Was it?
Contravened had split up. And I got really hurt actually because the guys that I was in Contravenes with, we split up, and it was all amicable. We had a last gig in Harlow, which was really, really good. We packed out the place. We had the Subways, obviously a huge band now, open for us.
Really?
We paid them 50 quid. And it was sold out. It's a really good gig at Harlow Square. It's not there anymore. Beautiful, best venue ever. Not there anymore. Anyway, we did our last gig there, and the guys in the band all went and formed another band together.
Really?
And I was just like, what? You know,
mate.
And I was like, I felt really, really rubbish because it was like none of them really had done bands before, and one of them, you know. It felt to me, not now I don't look at it, I'm just saying at the time, I had that feeling of I gave all of you a life and now.
Yeah. I mean, I know I had a similar thing happen to me when I was about 17 or something. I was in a band and then we like broke up and then they started a band without me. And then that's how I started a band with Dan. And obviously I'm so glad it happened because now like I'm actually way further along than I would have been.
Everything. But,
it's
for a reason.
It's one of them. Yeah, exactly. Everything does happen for a reason.
I don't feel that way now. I'm just remembering back to that time. I was quite hurt and I felt really like rubbish. Like, you know, we did this thing for, I don't know, 18 months.
Yeah.
We were brothers, you know.
Yeah.
It came to an end, but then you've all immediately formed another band together. And I just was like, oh, so I had all these, I don't now. And they're still my best friends, you know.
Yeah.
They're still like, you know, more than friends, they're family. So I don't feel that way now. I just remember feeling that way back then. But that's what led me to do Broken Desperado, because that was more of an Americana kind of country-ish thing.
Yeah.
And I think that when you're feeling down and you start writing, that kind of lends itself to that sort of music, that sort of Springsteen, Steve Earle. Not really Johnny Cash, but I was listening to a lot of Johnny Cash at the time. And a lot of that music is like reflection of the blues, feeling down, feeling low, but trying to write it in a kind of positive way.
Yeah.
Which Chris said to me the other day. He said, I love the way that with your songs, they sound so upbeat. And then you look at the lyrics and go, oh dear. And it's like, some of the songs can be a bit like, I'm dealing with something right now and I need to write about it. But I don't need to put that onto the listener. So I'm going to put in a nice poppy bit of music. And we'll all sing this lovely chorus and not think anything of it. And then when you actually look at the words just on print, you go, oh, maybe we should give him a hug, you know, but not always, just sometimes. But Broken Desperado, the name for that, again, it wasn't a great way. There's Guns N' Roses, who obviously you know. The Izzy Stradlin, when he was sacked, was replaced with Gilby Clarke.
Okay.
And I absolutely love Gilby Clarke. And when he left Guns N' Roses, a huge Guns N' Roses fan, he got sacked. I was gutted. But then he went and did a solo album called Pawn Shop Guitars, and it's one of my favorite albums. If anyone listening to this, if you guys have never listened to Pawn Shop Guitars by Gilby Clarke and you like rock and roll,
I need to give that a listen.
Got to listen to that album. It's so good. But there's a song on it. The song on it, Pawn Shop Guitars, the lead track. It says, I'm a motorcycle junkie. No, I'm a motorcycle junkie. Is it the wrong? A motorcycle junkie, a honky tonk, something. And then it says, but I'm a broken desperado, the wrong side of the barrel.
Oh, cool.
And I wanted motorcycle junkie.
Mm.
And my mum at the time said, but you don't ride a motorcycle. I went, yeah, that's a point.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then I said, what about honky tonk? She went, no.
No.
That'd be an interesting name.
And then I went, oh, yeah, no. What am I thinking? So then the next line was Broken Desperado. And I went, Broken Desperado. So I went with that because I'm on my own. The songs are kind of like, as I said to you, I was feeling a bit down and hurt at the time that I started writing the first songs for that. And the first album kind of is a reflection of that. And then the second album, it goes off in a different direction. And it was, I thought it was a great name. And then we went to, me and a few friends that used to go and do solo acoustic gigs. We used to get gigs together and it was great. It was a great time. We went to the New Cross Inn in New Cross in London. To do a night, and they must have misheard me on the phone because back then you had to get gigs by phoning people up. It's amazing. I mean, I've got a phone here, and I don't know the last time I used it as a phone. It's just an email and a messenger and a WhatsApp and a internet service provider. That's all it does. But back then you had to phone people up, and they must have misheard me on the phone because when I got to the gig. It's got my mate Liam and then Sean. And then he said, The Last Desperado. And my mate goes, they've got your name down wrong. I went, yeah, but, that's way better.
It's good, yeah. It's
The Last Desperado.
I don't want to say it, but it's so good.
I think The Last Desperado is brilliant. But I'd already done the album and got everything out. And I was like, and that started the progression for me stopping that whole project because I just was like, I liked that name that they'd misheard so much more than my own name that I didn't now want to do it,
Wow.
So I just so then when we went in, me and my mate Dave, I was in Contravenes with, he had a home studio, and I recorded the first Broken Desperado album at his studio with him. And I went in to do the second album, but because I was so kind of like in this Broken Desperado, I want to be the last Desperado. I didn't do it as Americana. A lot of it was like pop punk. A lot of the songs on it were like pop punk. And I had built a little tiny, funny enough, in Luton, a little tiny following for Broken Desperado. That if I went around like Luton or Dunstable, I'd have guaranteed to have like 10 or 15 of these people turn up each time.
That's great.
And I lost them on the second album. It was like, we thought you were like Springsteen light, but now you've gone Green Day, and I just sort of lost them. And so much so that with Black Carrot, because I've still got the Broken Desperado Facebook page, I've tried to promote out on the Broken Desperado page as well, like come over to this page, this is where we are now, this is all the music, and none of them have come over, and I'm like, God, you really do like your Americana music.
I really love it.
But then a couple of weeks back I wrote a song, and it is so much like the stuff I did with Broken Desperado, so I'm potentially gonna record a new Broken Desperado song soon.
That'd be cool. And that would be under the name Broken Desperado, not.
Yeah, because I've got over that whole thing now.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I wouldn't be the last Desperado anyway. That's preposterous to think that, There's so many Desperados all over the place. So for me to assume I'm the last one, it's like, no. But I'm not even broken. I'm kind of okay. I'm in a good place. It's like, Black Carrot's doing really well.
Yeah.
And, there's loads of different things that have been happening.
Yeah.
A magazine.
The magazine is mad.
I love the magazine.
Yeah, what's the story with the magazine? I only just learned about this.
So the magazine was going to be a newsletter.
Oh, okay.
It was, everyone does newsletters.
Yeah.
And I thought I'll do a newsletter because there's a few things that I've got to say that we've done. So why don't I put a newsletter out just to say to our followers on Facebook, we've done this and this is what we're doing next. and but it didn't all fit on like one page. So I sort of did a second one. But then as I was doing it, I thought, well, actually, I could. Oh yeah, we could say about this and this and this. And then it went to 4 pages.
Yeah.
And then I think by the time it had got to 6 pages, I said to myself, oh, it's like a magazine now. And as soon as the word magazine appeared in my head, I went, oh, we should do a magazine.
Yeah.
And then it became, because we'd been talking about doing something that no other band was doing, but we couldn't think of anything. And then I just went, well, no one's doing a magazine. You know, there's no bands out there with a magazine. There might be bands putting out newsletters about what they're doing. Everyone's doing that. Maybe even you could get away. There may be some people out there doing fanzines. I'm not sure if there are as many fanzines anymore.
There was loads back like a few years ago, but again,
when I was at college, the student union was basically the press room for a fanzine. You know, it was like everyone had fanzines, and bands used to have fanzines. Like you used to join membership clubs for bands. So if you like the Wild Hearts, my favorite band, they had a members club, and I think you paid like £18 for the year, and you used to get like sent these newsletters and fanzines and things like that, which they did. But no one really does that anymore, and they were only like 4 pages or something like that. Fans of music used to do fanzines, but they're not in bands. They would just be like wannabe reporters that made their own magazine, and it was mostly about the local bands in the area. But you don't see that anymore. But an actual band actively putting out a magazine now, which talks about their progress, what they've got, what they've done, what they've got coming up, links to the music, links to the videos, but also talks about other bands that they've met along the way, you know, and go like, this is the way we see it. This is like a journey for us. We're on this journey of discovery, not just discovering who we are and what our band stands for, and the opportunities that we want to discover, but we're discovering other people, you know, artists, bands. You guys met you guys, and it's like, well, if we've got a magazine and it's going out to, I think it's being read by roughly 150 to 200 people, which isn't bad. I'm not saying it's amazing. We're not Kerrang, but it's not bad. When I looked at crikey, you know, and if I can give shout outs, so there's a couple of shout out sections. One section's called With a Little Help to Our Friends. And that's where we pick a band, each issue that we just give a shout out to, and we do links to their Spotify or Linktree, whatever, Facebook page, website, and just say why we like this band, that we think you will as well, the reader. Then we've got thank you, and thank you is to. So the first issue was to Jane Evans of Jane Evans Photography, who most people around the Hertfordshire scene know Jane because she's like at everyone's gigs, taking photos. And then a few days later, she'll send you all the photos, but she's a professional photographer. So you get great photos from her. The latest issue of the magazine has got our drummer Chris on the front cover.
Oh, yeah. And
the front cover looks so good because that's a professional photo that Jane took backstage at the Horn in St Albans.
Yeah.
And yeah, because we've done
showing the drummer some love.
As they should.
Yeah, it's a good feature with Chris. You know, you should definitely go and read it. It's a brilliant feature with him. Just talks about how he's a dedicated guitarist, but accidentally became our drummer because he said, "Look, we've got to get this band going." He'd been in the shadows for a while, but we didn't get a drummer, so he couldn't come in. Me and Mark were going around doing it acoustically for about a year. And eventually Chris just said, look, we've got to get this thing going. Because he could play drums, why don't I play drums until we find a drummer, and then I'll move back to guitar? Fine. So we start doing that. Chris gets really into the drums, starts buying his own kit, buying his own cymbals.
Wow.
And so then we went, right, we don't need a drummer now. We've got one. We'll find a guitarist. So we called the feature The Accidental Drummer. And it's really good. It's written by Chris, edited by me, but written by Chris. And it just sort of talks to you about, you know, his kind of journey through music and becoming a drummer. But like I say, Jane Evans took that photo backstage at the Horn. She took a few photos for us. We didn't have any proper photos until that gig, and then we took the opportunity because she was there We said, don't leave, come backstage with us and get loads of cool photos. So she did that, and she'd photographed us and me throughout the festival season last year. She'd been taking my plushy carrots.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
them?
We have these. This one's brand new, but we have our carrots.
Beautiful.
I bought my own carrot, but I've not got a plushy carrot. I've had this ready and waiting for you today. But
Beautiful.
Yeah, they're actually dog toys, but we get them for like a couple of quid each. And but what Jane does is, this is a new one. I've got 2 others in my bag. I've just realised the face on this one's different to the other 2. But she would come to our gigs, take these carrots, go around the audience and get photos with people, and then send them to me. And I put them on Facebook, and I put these 2 little badges. You guys are part of this.
I've been in one, yeah.
And we called that the Carrot Army. So we'd start building up this army of people who just basically pose with our plushies. Or I use an orange mic muff on my microphones because I just have a habit of getting too close to them, bashing my teeth.
Yeah.
So I put one of them on, but obviously it's an orange one. And I've got one that's never been used by me that some people can like pretend to put on their nose. So you either get one with it on your nose or hold the plushies, and then you go on the Facebook page. But now they also go in the magazine as well, and it's Carrot Army. So
you're really fostering a community here, aren't you? It's more than just making music for you. It seems from talking to you for an hour, like you really want to. It seems you really care about the people who are listening to your music, don't you?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, if you don't care about who's listening to your music, then that you shouldn't really be expecting them to listen to your music.
Yeah,
that's the way I see it.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
As much as I say as much as I like, it makes it sound like I'm a massive fan. I'm not, but as much as I like Oasis's music, the attitude of the brothers sometimes leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, it does.
Know? And I'm not really into that arrogance, and I don't think punk's ever been part of that either. Actually, punk was never really an arrogant thing. It was kind of on stage. It was it's the arrogance to put on a confident show, but not necessarily just being a arsehole, you know.
But it's all about being yourself, punk, isn't it? Really, at the end of the day,
just be yourself. Just do what you want. I mean, you know, our songs probably don't sound like, it depends. Punk's a funny old word because some people hear punk and they'll immediately think of a particular band that they'll go, that's punk, and to them that's punk. So I'll say, well, we probably don't sound like, say, the Sex Pistols or the Clash, but there's definitely influences in there because that's what I grew up listening to.
Yeah, totally.
And then other people go, like Green Day.
Yeah.
Well, there's definitely influences from Green Day because
you know that one.
They're one of my top 5 favorite bands of all time, you know, and in the new issue of the magazine, there's a 2-page feature of me explaining why Green Day is such an important band to me. But then, you know, some people think punk is the really overly political stuff, like anarcho punk, bands like GBH and Conflict and all of that. The answer is all of them are. They're all punk, you know, and it's all rock as well at the end of the day. But if I
it's
go
all punk, it's all punk because they're all doing their own thing.
Yeah, it is all punk.
Yeah,
even parts of Dua Lipa's music is punk. You know.
Yeah. Hot take.
Shout out Dua Lipa. Is that the person you're going to shout out and put on the playlist?
No, I could do. I do like Dua Lipa, but I like pop. I never lost my pop love. You know, I always. Obviously, I went from pop to... So the first rock artist that I went, oh, hello, was Alice Cooper.
Okay.
And I heard Poison. You know the song Poison by Alice Cooper? I heard that and I went, oh, what's that? You know, and it really made me... And my elder sister, her boyfriend, who's her husband now, but her boyfriend at the time, came round and he was a biker with tattoos up his arms. And it was into heavy metal. And he liked Alice Cooper, Van Halen, Iron Maiden. And he like put me onto those. And I was like, it was like one of those like,
an awakening.
Yeah. And it was like guitar. That's what that sounded like. Wow. wow, guitar, that's so exciting. And then from then, I never looked back from that. I just went more rock, more rock, more rock. By the time I got to college, I was full on metal with Metallica and Machine Head and Pantera, who tomorrow night I'm going to see Pantera at Wembley. Yes.
Wow.
Can't wait.
Oh, boy, that'd be so nice.
So I never, once I go, oh, I now really like this, I don't then drop what I was. So although I went rock, metal, really extreme, quite dark metal at times, then punk, and then rock and roll, and then but I still had pop as well. I didn't ditch pop. I still loved pop, and that's why I think probably I love the band Weezer so much, because they did pop and punk, and rock.
They really do that well, don't they?
Yeah, and Heavy Metal Through the Ghetto Blaster. When I wrote that song, I was really, really in a Weezer mode. So, and I don't know if this is something that we've ever fessed up to before. I think it was. I think I might have put it in a on Facebook or something like that. But the recording of Heavy Metal Through the Ghetto Blaster, which is on Spotify, that version, the drums on it are actually programmed drums.
Oh, are they?
And the patch that we used is the Pat Wilson from Weezer's patch.
Oh, cool, man.
So we can legitimately say Weezer play on that song, because every one of those drums and cymbals Pat hit. It's just that we put them in the order we wanted them.
So cool.
Yeah.
That's
the
my
album
favorite
versions will be different. We'll get Christy's drumming on the album versions, but I always wanted that one song to just have that patch on it because it was Pat Wilson. Yeah. And I wrote that song thinking about Weezer. And to me, it was like, it's absolutely. We even used a muff driver, a pedal, guitar pedal on that song because Rivers and Como liked using those as well.
Yeah.
So it's as rip of another band as you can possibly get, but still being completely originally your song.
Yeah, it's all your own notes and your own arrangement.
I just like to tip my cap and go, thank you to as many different bands, because at the end of the day,
well put.
Everybody's copying everybody.
Yeah,
and it's just whether or not you're going to fess up to it. You're not doing it deliberately to go, oh, I'm going to rip that song off because I love it. But everybody, even the people that will you'll say, oh no, that's really original music. You'll go, well, it's not, because for a band to put out completely original music, they could never have heard any other music.
Yeah.
You'd have to have gone, I've got this instrument. Somehow I've managed to learn it without ever hearing music.
Yeah.
And I've now put out this song, and you go, well, that's original because you've never heard music. But if you've heard other music, you're going to be influenced by it. You just are. So
that's what music is, really. At the end of the day, it's building on what was done before. And that's how we are where we are now with all the music that we listen to. I'm glad that we're talking about this now. I want to hear really quickly, because we're rounding off the show now, what is next for Black Carrot? What can people look forward to? That's what we're here.
So we've got the mag. We've got.
How often does the mag come out? Are we getting one a month? Is it for the mag?
No, because it's only me putting it together. Yeah. It takes me about 3 or 4 months to do it.
Cool.
The first one came out in November. The second one came out in February. So it's probably May, the next one.
May? Okay.
But each one's growing. And in this latest one, we've actually got album reviews, single reviews, movie reviews. So they weren't in the first one. So naturally, it's just evolving each issue.
Yeah.
The first issue is 20 pages. This one's 40 pages. The next one might be 40 pages as well, but there's going to be more album reviews, more movie reviews. And the next evolution of the magazine is we're going to start doing live reviews as well. Nice. So I've got myself a nice camera. So I'm going to get out to loads of different gigs and stuff like that, get some cool shots. Obviously, I'm going to be experiencing the gig, try and get a set list from the band at the end of it, and then review it. But I'm building kind of like an army of guest writers as well that can also chip in. So it's not so much for me to do. And then if I can get that on a regular basis, I might be able to bring it down to one every 2 months. And then once the readers have gone up to about 1,000, I might even be able to start getting some paid for advertising in it. I've got some adverts in it at the minute, but they're like free of charge.
Yeah.
And that's great because we like to promote some of the local companies to us. But the more it expands, the more it's going to start costing me money to produce it. And I just want to recoup it. I'm not looking at this being a profit-making thing. I just want to recoup some costs. But if I can't, then it doesn't matter. I'll still do it because it's a labor of love. I love doing it and I want to do it. The next thing will be definitely merch. Otherwise, Chris will kill me.
Yeah.
So we'll get that. We'll get the shirts.
This merch. Yeah.
We'll get the shirts done. A thing that I really, really want to do is I really want to get into radio presenting.
Oh yeah.
Really bad.
I could see you.
I'd love to have my own show.
I could see you
on Mix, maybe.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The Mix had a run of. What's great about Mix Radio? Wow. What's great about them is they have a volunteer scheme where they train you up basically to be a radio presenter on their show. Whether you end up being on their show or whether you go off somewhere else or it's just an experience that you wanted to try is irrelevant. They just, they'll train you up. And I wanted to do it the last time, but all of the days they were running the training, I couldn't do. And I was gutted. But when I went recently to have my interview with them and I spoke to Nick Hazel, the owner, who's just the greatest guy. He said to me, look, contact me and we'll get it sorted out. Or you don't have to wait for the group training. We'll just do it. You just come in on your own and we'll do it together. But I don't ever want to let people down. So I don't want to say to Nick, I'll do it until I know I can commit to it. And then if he gives me a show, I can definitely commit to that. Because letting people down, it's not a very nice feeling when you get let down. So why would you want to put that feeling on other people? I just try and be as upfront as I can. But that's something I'd love to do. And of course,
we'd love to tune into that.
I know. Wouldn't be many songs played, would there? I can't stop talking. But and then get the album out. So we're looking at the summer for the album around July time.
Okay. Maybe. Oh, that's sooner than I thought it was going to be. Wicked.
Yeah, well, we've been recording it for a while, so it's just a case of getting the last few songs finished and then going through them. I think we have about 17 songs recorded, and I want to pick the best 10. For the album. And when I say the best, obviously I love them all, but this is an album. You got to think of it as a body of work. And the songs they've got to be coherent. They've got to they've got to
complement each other.
They've got to flow from one to the other. And the thing with Black Carrot is I always say, like, yes, we've got massive influences from Weezer, from Green Day, from the Ramones, from Ash, from Feeder, from the Wild Hearts. But I don't think we sound anything like any of them specifically. No. We're like a band that we wear our influences thick on our sleeves, yet still sound like us. And
that's what people love about you, man. They love that, like, they can hear all these bands that they love listening to, like Green Day and everyone, and then they can hear you, and it's like a really fresh take on it. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel, like you said, like you're not creating a new genre. You're taking these great influences that everyone loves and making it your own, and that's what people love to go and see you play all these festivals and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Carl, people have to come to a gig, Totally. We're gigging this Saturday in Cambridge.
Oh yeah, shout out! Let's hear all the dates you've got booked in now for the podcast, so we can.
So all the dates we've got booked in are. Hang on a minute. So we've got the 1st of March. That's right, isn't it? The 1st of March is on Saturday.
Yep.
That is in Cambridge at the Portland Arms. The Portland Arms is one of my bucket list venues.
I've heard of the Portland Arms.
Have you never heard of it?
No, I've heard of it.
It's such great. The thing is, I've seen a lot of my heroes play there, and it's funny because Ginger Wildart from the Wild Arts is like my hero, and I've seen him play there a couple of times. And we applied for this gig. It's part of a Battle of the Bands heats that they're doing.
Cool.
But that's fine. I just want to play a gig. I'm not necessarily worried about winning. I just want to play a gig, and I'll take that. Do you want to do this gig? It's Battle of the Bands. That's fine. Do I get half an hour on stage? Yes, good. Right, I'll take it. And they said, right, we're going to put you on the heat for the 8th of March. And I went, no. And they went, why not? And I went, because weirdly, I'm in Cambridge that night to see the Wild Hearts at the Cambridge Junction. It's like, the Wild Hearts are the reason I want to play this venue, and they're also the reason I can't play this venue. I said, I can only do the first Saturday in March because of all these bands I'm going to see in March. And so anyway, they turned around and they said, we can put you on the 1st.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And I was like, this is amazing. Yeah. Like, the other bands we're playing with, good luck to you, because we're not worried about it being a competition. We just want to, we've already won because we're playing the Portland Arms.
Yeah.
And then we got the details of it, and it said it's one heat, and then you're into the final if you get through.
Yeah.
And the final is held at the Cambridge Junction, which is probably number 3 on my bucket list venue.
That's incredible.
And then people said to me, so you're not worried about winning? I went, yes, vote for us. Vote. Bring all of your family to vote.
Yeah.
So I went from accepting it, but champion all the other bands to now I'm like super competitive. And I'm like, we must win this heat.
Oh, mate. Well, good luck to you.
I know. So that's Saturday. Then 4th of March is the Horn.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Love that venue.
Great venue.
Because it's got a proper backstage. That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
So I can hide all night only to come out on our gig and do the whole pretentious rock star thing. 8th of March, we're in Biggleswade at the Big Theatre. Now, it's part of a festival called Wade Fest. It's the first year. It's a free festival. None of the venues are charged to get in. And we're in the auditorium at 3 p.m. till 3:45. So
nice.
Come to that one because it's free, you know?
Yeah.
Free carrots.
Free carrots.
Just come. 27th of March, we are in Hartford at the Corn Exchange.
Nice.
So that'd be good. That'd be the first time I've played in Hartford. Yet I grew up in Hartford. 4th of April at Johnny's Bar. Come for free condoms.
Oh, yeah.
17th of May, we're at the Phoenix in High Wycombe, opening for our friends, the Real McCoys, who are the best tribute band on the planet.
Yeah.
And on the 8th of June, we'll be here in Stevenage at Stevenage Day, the Rock in the Park Festival, which that's a free one as well. And we're on stage at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's early for carrots.
That's very early for the carrots.
That is an early carrot rise, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, crikey, that's 12 till 12:40. I've got to do 45 minutes as well. I'll be honest, I'm not a morning person. So I'm not sure I'll be as chatty as I am now at 12 o'clock on a Sunday. But we might just have to crash through our set. But that's all of the gigs at the moment. If any venues listen to this podcast and want to give us more, then please give us more. My other bucket list venues are the Crawford Arms in Milton Keynes. Desperate to play there. I've contacted them about 100 times so far. I've even driven up there to try and talk to them. I'm literally begging to play the Crawford Arms. And the other venue it's a little one in London called Wembley Stadium.
I think I've heard of that one.
Green Day played it last year. It gets a few people in.
Good crowd. You're right.
It is, but once it gets dark, you can't see anyone, can you? So it's like, but yeah, Wembley, and then once we've got them out the way, Madison Square Gardens would be the next one.
Yeah.
It's like a quick brush off gig.
Yeah, and obviously because I'm local, Nebworth would be handy.
If you get any of these free venues, please have us as your support. We'll happily do 20 minutes, half hour support.
I tell you what,
only at Nebworth and the O2, not the other.
Yeah, I wouldn't travel.
Now I thought this because I think there's more chance of you making it to those big arenas than us. But if you do a big arena outdoor gig, you have to fly in.
Yeah.
On a spaceship.
Oh, mate.
We'll start saving now.
I love that. Like a proper big cartoon spaceship, and you're just landing. Oh, great.
Because obviously I've got the background on, but I'm in my office. But I just before you go, I want to show you what is with me every day in this office.
Is it the alien?
It's not.
Yes.
Oh, mate. I'm so glad you've got that.
That is memories from Space Fest.
It's my my little
Well,
friend.
the dream would be that Space Fest could get so big we could do it at one of those places, and then you can.
Yeah.
So
He
you
needs
played.
pumping up.
Carrots.
But yeah,
Love that.
You've
I
taken
call him
very
Mark.
good care of him.
Mark
Thank
the
you.
Alien.
Mark
Thank
the
you.
Alien. Yeah. Which it's nothing to do with Mark who's in Black Carrot. It's just that I got asked what's his name, and that was the first name I could think of. So
We lose all them aliens at every gig we do. It's
People keep
it's our
taking
biggest
mine.
expense. Our biggest
People
expense
keep
is
stealing
aliens.
so I got that obviously, didn't I? At Space
Yeah,
Fest. Do you call it Space Fest?
Space Fest.
I
Yeah.
got that there, and Amber said to me, "You're not going to take that, are you?" And I went, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And then she went, "I don't think you're supposed to take them."
Yeah, we chuck them out.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
kind of supposed to take them.
So
But
I
that's
just
kind of
went,
the point of it. Is like you feel sneaky when you sneak it home. Like we saw someone it's like trying to hide it, leaving a gig once, and that's kind of the fun bit. Is it feels naughty even though.
So that pub, I'd parked across the road,
Yeah.
and I held Mark's hand and walked across the road with him.
Oh, of course, he's a little boy.
Yeah, and I just thought, I'm going to humanise you.
Yeah.
You know? And there's times when I'm in
Yourself
here and I'll be
in.
writing a song and I'll be stuck on a lyric and I just go, I don't know, Mark, what do you reckon? And
I bet you actually do, don't you?
no, I do. And I did it recently with what's probably going to be our next single. It's a song called XR3I. I was writing that and I got stuck a little bit on a line and I said, I don't know, Mark, what do you reckon? And then a thought came into my head.
Mate, this is so good.
And I was like,
this.
That means we've helped and inspired the next. Oh, that's amazing. That's a good little.
you want to co-write?
They
Yeah,
are
we want
inspiring aliens.
our
I
name.
think Dan does get some credits on that for
if possible,
any contributions made by.
So do you think? Did you like when you were blowing them up initially? Did you blow your spirit into them? Is that what?
Yeah, our heart and souls went into that, man.
I tell you what, we'll give you one song to add onto the playlist, and we'll give Mark one song to add onto the playlist, rather than giving you two.
Well,
So,
the song that I wrote these down actually.
Oh,
Where
you're
did I-
very prepared.
Not really, because
I
I've now
usually
lost
just
a
have to
piece of
pick on the
paper.
spot.
I'll tell you what. So I can pick.
I'll add it in
What I'm
right
going
now.
to do is I'm going to pick one which is from an unsigned band and one that's
Nice.
from a signed band that is already
Yeah.
made it.
Cool.
You know.
We've got a good mix of both on the playlist. It's nice.
So the unsigned band song that I'm gonna throw up is because I can't stop listening to it.
Mm.
And this is a band who are they're from Hertfordshire, but I don't know what town in Hertfordshire. I want to say Stevenage, but it might be Hitchin. But they're called the Skive.
The Sky.
The Sky. I
And
don't
that's
think I've heard of them.
SKIVE.
Yeah. I've got
Skive,
them.
the Skive. And it's their song, What Are You Doing Here?
Yeah, got it.
Now, these guys, we first met them in December last year when we played Club 85. We played with them on the bill.
Mhm.
And honestly, I don't say it lightly, they took the roof off the place. They got everybody, you know, those mosh pits where people run around in circles?
Oh yeah, circle
Yeah.
pits. Yeah.
Yeah, they got one of them going.
Oh man.
Um, and they're constantly jumping in the air. I try and get one jump per gig in because a bit hard on the knees to do too many. They're pogoing a lot, you know. And what really sort of got me into them straight was early in the set they did a Green Day song, but they did a deep cut Green Day song, and I was like, whoa, that's cool. You know, yes, they went to Dookie, but they didn't go for any of the singles. They went for a song called Chump. And they did that, and that I was just there, just singing, and singing along with them. And in Soundcheck, they did another Green Day song in Soundcheck, "Geek Stink Breath" from the Insomniac album, which again is a great song. It is a big Green Day song, but it's not an obvious one. And I was just like, wow. And then we met them, and like with you guys, they're just the nicest guys in the world. And we really like champion them at the moment. They had they had a shout out in the mag this month because the reason being they won Battle of the Bands at the Hartford Corn Exchange this year.
Nice.
I went along, and again they got another one of those circle pits going, and it was just fantastic. And the two bands that they were in the final with, the middle band, I won't say who they are, but the middle band brought, I reckon, definitely the most people. Because when they were on, the crowd were cheering their name, saying the name of the
yeah.
band again and again and again. And it just seemed to be most of the people in there were doing it. And then they finished and the Skive went on and they were the third band on. And by the end of their set, every single person in that room was shouting the Skive. And I'm thinking, you've converted the guys that came to support the other band.
They must be sick.
The other band's parents are just converting.
Totally converted. And they're, it was a great night. It was so fantastic. And we'll do something for the other band as well, in the mag. But I've got a list for all these issues. I think the next issue is going to have to have more shout outs because I can't get everybody in. And when it's every 4 months, I'm like, oh, I need to say thanks and shout out to these guys now, not in 4 more months. But so the Skive would be my first choice. The song What You Doing Here is such a great song. It is it's mad, it's grungy as well as punky. It's just fantastic. And they're doing a gig this Friday at the Islington Academy.
Wow.
And I want to go, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but if I can, I will. They're just such a great band. So that's my first one. That's the unsigned one.
Nice.
The signed one that I'm going to go for is my favorite band, the Wild Hearts. They've got a new album coming out next month, and the current single is called Troubadour Moon. And it's just a fantastic song. It's got a chorus.
I didn't know they had a new album coming out.
It's called The Satanic Rites of the Wild Hearts, and it's coming out on March the 7th. It's a new lineup. It's Ginger plus 3 newbies. But it's still the Wild Hearts. It's amazing. The songs are going to have twists and turns, and one riff followed by another riff followed by another riff. You think you're going to have a handle on the song, and then they'll just completely U-turn on you. But Troubadour Moon is great, classic rock song with a big chorus. And it's that and the Skive song are the 2 songs I'm playing on repeat at the moment. So they are my two suggestions. I know you've got Heavy Metal Through the Ghetto Blaster by Black Carrot on your playlist, but I would also give a shout out to our latest single, One Track Kind.
Put it on.
Yeah, that's a good one. Love that one.
That's a great song. It's our love song, but it's still boppy and poppy. And I think that was that was another nod to Weezer, that song.
I can hear that.
Weezer do pop love songs better than anybody. But we've got coming up a power ballad.
Nice.
No way.
I never thought I'd write one. Not for Black Carrot.
Oh, okay.
I've Broken Desperado had loads of power ballads, but I just wrote one and I went, this isn't going to be for Black Carrot. This will just be for something else. This will be a project I keep on the shelf and decide what I'm going to do with it later. And then once it was finished and I was singing it, I went, this is definitely a Black Carrot song, So I hope it makes the album because I want the album to not get too samey. I want it to have a couple of pop punk songs, one like riffy song, a power ballad, maybe an acoustic, maybe a stripped song, like a Time of Your Life type song, maybe something like that. I don't know yet. And the idea is the streaming services will get the 10-track album, and then the issues that we get printed up to sell at gigs will have 2 bonus tracks, but we'll never go on streaming. We'll never put them on streaming sites. But they won't just be like throwaway songs. There'll be songs we play in the set quite a lot. So that's the plan. That's what's next. Radio presenter, merchandise, album, and
magazine editor.
Madison Square Gardens. What? Sorry.
And magazine editor.
I'm an editor and publisher. That is mad.
That is crazy.
I went to college to study journalism and flunked the course and ended up becoming a printer and then just went off in all different directions. Never, ever went anywhere close to journalism. And now I'm sort of a journalist, publisher, editor. It's crazy, But I want to do it because I want to bring a community together. I want to say we want to make whatever make it means in this day and age. I don't know. I just want us to leave a mark, and I'd like it to be that in a certain area, whether it's just Hearts or whether it can be Hearts Beds or Hearts Beds and Cames or Hearts Beds and Bucks, I'd like it to be that we kind of have gotten our names out there. Do you know what I mean? People would know us. That would be nice. But while I'm doing that, if I can bring as many of you bands and artists along with me, so we all get to be part of it.
Yeah.
That would be better, because what I don't like, even though when I played with you guys, I did do some covers. I felt I had to that night.
Yeah.
I don't really like doing covers. I love music. I love songs, but I'm very much like, if I want to hear Basket Case, I'll put Basket Case by Green Day on. I don't necessarily want to play it or hear someone else play it. And I worry with music that the covers bands that are coming out now, new covers bands that are coming out now, still playing really old songs. And I think, oh, what's happened in the last 20 years? What's the newest song that's being played in a regular covers band now? And we spoke about this the other night. And the newest song that we think, when you go to see a covers band, every covers band does, is Mr. Brightside by the Killers.
Yeah. I was thinking early Arctic Monkeys, but yeah, I guess that's basically.
But even
I was thinking like Blur or something. Yeah, it's probably Killers. Yeah.
Blur, but they're all old songs, aren't they? They're all 20 plus years.
Old music.
What's the new ones? You might get a few, like some people might do a Sheeran one, or some people might do but not everybody does those. We're on about when it's a pub covers band, they're gonna
Mr. Brightside.
They're gonna do Mr. Brightside. They're gonna do Song 2. They're gonna do Bet She Looks Good on the Dance Floor, but they're 20 plus years old.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is say, look, if you're an original band writing original music, let's all get together to support each other. If we get a gig where the people say to us, you don't know any other bands that could get on the bill as well, do you? Yes, I do. And start and let's just try and push original music out there, because I think it needs to be done, because if new songs aren't going to get put into the pot in 20 years time from now, the new kids that are putting covers bands together are still going to be singing Mr. Brightside. I'd like it if some of them sung Heavy Metal Through the Ghetto Blaster. Do you know what I mean? I'd like that to get into a set, or but
Mate,
it's
you're doing all the right things.
Is to say
all the right things to make that happen.
We're a band, but we want to be a community. And we're not just saying that. We've put our money where our mouth is, and we have published a magazine in which we promote you all. And the reason we do that is because then you're going to share that across your streams.
Yeah.
And it helps all of us,
Exactly.
We do a feature with you and you share it to your followers.
Yeah.
It's not just helping. Oh, well, yeah, you've done that for them because they've shared it to your followers to help you. I said, yeah, but I've got 10 other bands in that issue as well. They're helping them. And they're going to share it to their followers, which are now helping you guys. So
we'll get some of the pie.
We all help each other. And if you don't share it, then you don't have to. But then again, I probably won't talk about you again. So it's
we'll forever share it. We'll
share it, mate.
And come to Johnny's bar if you can.
I'll be there.
Yeah,
we're playing the Horn the day after, so I know I'm in Watford and around. I live in Watford, so I'll be there. I'll bring a few people along.
Well, good luck in your promotion chase this season.
Yeah.
I think those playoffs are still there for you.
It's going to kill me, but I don't know. I'll be happy if we get playoffs, but I'm not. As long as I've beaten Luton, that's it. I said it yesterday. As long as we beat Luton, we can lose every game this rest of the season now.
Yeah.
That was all I cared about.
As long as you beat Luton. You sound like a West Ham fan. They can get relegated, but as long as they beat Tottenham, they don't care. It's like absolutely ridiculous. But no, I hope you come up, because Hertfordshire team.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a Hertfordshire team. It always makes me laugh when people call them a London team, but it's a Hertfordshire team. So I've got nothing against Watford. I never have done, And I like Troy Deeney. I always thought he was quite a character. So no, I hope you guys come up, and hope you don't keep sacking your managers, because that gets a bit boring, doesn't it?
No, it keeps it entertaining.
Nah, keep Tom Cleverly. He's decent.
Yeah, I'll forever back Tom. We're keeping Tom.
And just so you can tell me before you sign off, you're telling me, and what's your next gigs?
Yeah,
our next
we've
gigs.
Got one this Friday, the Half Moon in Putney. We're doing like a showcase night with them. So we're looking forward to that. Then we've got one with Amber Lily on the 7th of March in London, playing like an O'Neill's in Soho.
Yeah,
So,
it's the 7th of March.
Yeah, 7th of March, Friday night. And then Old Town Hall in Hemel. So linked with the Horn, they've got the Old Town Hall in Hemel that Juicebox play at. So
Right, yeah.
there on the 13th.
Oh yeah.
That'd be a good one. Then back at
I'll
the
go
Hall.
venue. It's cool. It's a cool little place to play.
And
Yeah.
when's Space Fest?
That is going to be May 17th, providing all goes well.
And is that back at the same pub, or are you going bigger, or?
Back at the Old Palace for now. They're good to us. They're lovely people, so they're happy to have as many. They want as many gigs. I think they want to become like a music pub. So
Okay.
as far as they're aware, they want to hear from bands and they want people turning up and putting gigs on. So
Well, the space was there because you guys played as a full band. So it's flipping hot though. Crikey.
yeah, that's
That's a great gig if you want to lose weight.
We done the first one in full spacesuits, like nylon space. Oh my god, that was like midsummer.
Really?
Horrible. We were drenched in sweat. Oh.
We're trying to get dancers at our gigs.
I saw you advertising for this.
The original plan, and I've now been told no, that's not happening.
Okay.
So yeah, anyone gets carried away thinking this is my band, I've been told no. So I wanted to get carrot costumes.
Yeah.
And have carrot dancers. But now what we're doing, and this could be another exclusive, but I can't show it to you. The logo of our logo is a skull with a mohawk.
Yeah.
Now, genuinely, that was never when I had it made, when I had that done, it was never supposed to be me. It was supposed to just be a character.
Yeah.
You know, like Iron Maiden have Eddie and Megadeth have that guy. I wanted that. I wanted it to be a character, and I always was going to develop it as a character. I just never got round to it. And now when you're in a band with these other guys, and Chris has said it a couple of times ago, the logo's you. I go, it's not me. The logo's not me. It's a guy. It's it's a character. So earlier today with a friend of mine, Shane, who's from a very good local heavy metal band called Extreme Death Art. I would have put them in my list, but they haven't got their single out yet. So snooze you lose. He went on AI and designed and did a load of different versions of as if our logo was a character.
Mm-hmm.
And after about 2 hours, we finally nailed it. And so the logo, this can be an exclusive as well. The logo is called Hank.
Cool.
Okay.
And he is going to appear when I can find a good enough artist, because I can't draw stickmen. He's going to be in a comic strip in the magazine.
Mate.
And and then when we get the CDs made up, he'll do things in the artwork and stuff like that. And he's going to be a vigilante of some description. He's got a carrot dagger. He plays a carrot-coloured Les Paul, and he's just kick-ass.
Cool.
He's for the greater good. He doesn't like bad, so if he sees anyone being bad, he wipes them out. He's a bit like Dexter,
Okay. Yeah.
but loves really good music as well. And he wears leather biker jacket, black t-shirt, black jeans, and black and white Converse. And he's just so cool. So he's now a character. So the logo's not me. The logo is him. And also I've bought it's in a different room. I've bought a full face mask of a skull, and I've stuck a mohawk on it. You get these mohawks that bikers stick on their helmets.
Yeah.
It's got really strong glue. So I've stuck that on, and it looks exactly like our logo. And we want to get people who are willing to turn up, doesn't matter what clothes you're wearing, and put the mask on and just sort of maybe have a bit of a boogie on stage, a bit of a devil horns for some songs, and then maybe go out to the audience while we're playing and hand out some flyers and things like that. That's what we want. And there's no way I can recruit a full-time person to do that. So it would be a case of at each gig, if anybody wants to do that, then they've just got to come up to me and say, I'll be Hank if you want for this gig. And I'll just give
I would love
I'll say, we will do it. If we can get 2 marks, I promise you, we'll come to the Watford gig and be Hank.
I would love to.
Yeah, we can have 2 Hanks.
Yeah. I'd love it.
Or Hank and I could put a pink
Hank and Deck.
mohawk on one. We could have Hank and his girlfriend. Couldn't you?
We'll do it.
One of you's got to wear a dress though.
I'd wear a dress.
Yeah, we can wear dresses.
Yeah. But anyway, that's what I want to do. Just I'm always trying to think of what will just make us stand out that little bit more.
Yeah.
What will make people go away and remember us that little bit more. And since
Make the
Happy
experience
Mondays, no one's had a
unique.
dancer, have they?
Yeah.
So
No.
And I've got maracas that don't work. In other words, what I mean is when you shake them, nothing, no sound comes out. I thought, well, that's great because I don't actually want the audience hearing maracas while we're trying to play our songs. But when you put maracas in someone's hands, and I've proved this with friends of mine that don't dance at all.
Oh yeah.
As soon as you put maracas in their hand,
Straight to the hips.
they start doing that.
Moving around, yeah.
So put that mask on, and just as we're about to play, us to shove 2 maracas in your hand, you're going to start doing that. And then we rip into When You Fall, and then you just start bouncing around the stage. And then at the end, when we usually finish with Heavy Metal Through the Ghetto Blaster, when we're doing that big rock star ending, you know, with all the cymbals crashing all over the place, and we get ready to do a jump in the air. Whoever's Hank that night can be working the audience, you know, and stuff like that. We just want fun. We want people to come, have a good time, and go away thinking, I liked that, I enjoyed that. And as long as they do that, then we've succeeded. We've done what we came to do.
Well, it sounds like you're doing all the right things, mate. It's been so cool hearing about all the stuff that you're doing. I know that when Dan told me you were coming on, I was so excited. Honestly.
Good luck editing this.
We don't really edit it. We'll just put it up.
We don't need to edit this. This was a pretty smooth run, to be honest. Well done, man. Just last thing, your socials, shout them out. Where can people find your stuff?
Okay, so the easiest place is to go to the website because that's got all the links.
Oh yeah.
Rather than Linktree, we just did our own website. So you've got blackcarrot.co.uk.
Yeah.
If you go there, then you've got the links to I'll just remind myself. So right at the top of the page, you've got a link to the latest issue of the magazine. Can't miss it. It's the biggest thing on the website. And then you've got a link to Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. We've not done a lot with Twitch and YouTube at the moment. Nothing with Twitch because, quite frankly, I haven't worked out what it is. And YouTube. But today I've had arrive. I've got to figure it out. I just literally took it out of the packet. This is a wireless microphone, DJI.
Oh, cool.
Microphone. So the audio's good, and that's another. Actually, I should have said that because this is one of the biggest next things for us. Is we're going to start doing a vlog, a YouTube channel vlog, where be everything. It'll be vlogging the Black Carrot gigs on the day of the gig, leading up to it, being backstage, going on stage. But it could also be me going to a gig as well, where I'm going to see Pantera tomorrow night. I've got the Wild Arts coming up, Terrorvision coming up, the Darkness coming up. So it will just be like the life of us as Carrots. And we're going to be doing a lot more of that. At the moment, I have a lot of this gear. I've got to work out the idea. Once I've done that, then once I start, I don't stop. So once I start vlogging, there's going to be just so many vlogs all over the place. So that's our next big thing. But if you go to blackcarrot.co.uk, you can pick whichever one you want. Facebook, Instagram, Spotify. We've only got the Spotify link on there because if I'd have put all the links to all of the streaming services, the website would have just been a page of links. What I say is Spotify is the main one that everybody has. But if you are a Deezer or Apple Music or a YouTube Music or what's another one? Amazon Music. Then we're on there as well. Just put Black Carrot in, or put in Heavy Metal Through the Ghetto Blaster. Then you come straight to us. And just listen to the songs. It's 5 on there at the minute. Learn the words and come and sing the songs.
And guys, people listening, do listen to the songs because they are really
come and sing. If you sing the songs, we've got people in the audience that work for us. And if you are singing the lyrics to our songs and they tell us that you've done that, we will do things for you. We'll do a feature with you. We'll put you on Facebook. But best of all, and quite frankly, I don't know why you wouldn't do it just for this alone. You'll get a free Kinder Bueno. So
if that's not a reason to turn up.
Yeah. I bulk buy Kinder Buenos. So and
I got a scratch card at the last Black Carrot.
Yeah, I stopped doing that when somebody won 50 quid. So
I won £1.
You did win £1.
Yeah.
You did win £1, but then someone won 50 quid and I was really jealous.
Yeah, I'll be annoyed.
So, I was like, oh,
That's gut
Oh, that didn't make me feel very good. So I'm not doing that again. But you guys did say you'd give the winnings to charity as well.
Mm.
We
Whereas
did.
I
this
don't know.
guy-
Did the pound actually go to charity?
I don't actually know where I put the scratch card.
I don't think the
I don't know if
pound ever
anyone's
came.
got. Even I've not got the money yet.
Well, we did it. We did ball stock, and I did the scratch cards,
Mm.
and there was no winners.
Mm.
They just threw the cards away. Then the next day, I went, oh, there was one card I didn't give away. I'll go and scratch it. And when I looked at it, I realised that I thought all scratch cards were you have to get 3 of the same thing on the line. But
Yeah.
this particular scratch card that I bought that day wasn't like that. You had to get just one symbol on the grid
Right.
that matched the symbol at the
Oh,
top
yeah.
box.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, well, this one I'm doing now didn't win, but the 3 that was done yesterday at the
Right,
gig,
well.
they might have actually been winners, but I don't know.
Mate, oh,
They all got binned. So I could have thrown 50 grand in a bin.
don't say that. You definitely didn't throw 50 grand in the bin. Let's not have nightmares. Let's end on a happy note. Black Carrot, thank you so much for coming on the shout out. It's been a privilege and an honor to hear about all the great things you're doing. Guys, if you like this podcast, we've got so many more exciting guests lined up over the next weeks and months. Subscribe, hit the bell to get notified when we're releasing them. It's going to be clips, there's going to be loads of fun stuff happening to stay in the loop. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.